Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's video. Have you ever been walking down a path, maybe got your camera in hand, just snapping some pictures, and all something quick happens and you think to yourself, man, I wish there was a button that I could press to capture fast moving subjects at a spur of a moment. I don't know, maybe it's some wild animal running, maybe it's a hummingbird flying, or maybe it's just a dog in a local park that you want to take a picture of just really quick. I'm telling you, there is. I'm going to show you what it is. It's called Canon Register Recall Shooting Function. So bear with me. Let's dive on in. I'm going to show you where it's at, hiding in the system, and how to set it to one of your back buttons. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back. So let's jump into the system. Obviously, you're going to need your camera on and make sure you're in the camera mode, not video, and let's hit that menu button. I don't know where you're going to be when you pop up in here, but go ahead and hit your Q button. That will cycle you through the pages. So we want to get to this camera icon right there with the hashtags or whatever that's under there. And you want to go to page 3 and you want to go down to customize buttons and you're going to click that. All right, so I'm going to make some assumptions. I'm going to assume that you know what button you want to assign this to. It doesn't matter to me. I could care less, whatever works for you. I am going to assign it to my depth of field button just for this tutorial purpose. I normally don't use this setting. Maybe 99.9% of the time, I never use what I'm showing you here, unless I'm at the refuge, and then I do have it set up for my 200 to 800 and my 70 to 200, but I have it set for the lens button because my hand's already here. I'm holding this big old lens. And it's just easier to hit that button for my register recall. But for this, we're going to just use whatever button you want. All right. So as I said before, we're going to scroll down here. I'm going to assign it to my depth of field button. There it is. It's in the front. Yeah, I know it's kind of a reach, but like I said, it's tutorial purposes only. So go ahead and click on that. Now what we're looking for the camera icon that has an arrow going in, an arrow kind of out, kind of a little crazy. So let's go through here till we find it. Doobie. I always scroll past it sometimes. Here it is, right there. That's what you want. Now when you land on this, if you hit set, like it's set, but you didn't really do anything. So we need to go back in there and you'll see that little info detail set. That's what we need to click. So either touch it on your screen or hit the info button on the back of your camera and that will open up. This is where the magic happens. So a couple things. Number one, if the box has a check mark in it, that means whatever you have set in here is going to override what you have set in your system. If you have no check mark and you remove the check mark, that means whatever you have currently set in your system, the camera will use when you hit the button to activate this function. So here's where you're going to want to set your shutter speed. So for me, I usually would, like I said, mileage may vary, whatever. I don't know what you guys are shooting, but I'll come down here and I will hit, I'll go, geez, oh peach, Jason. I will hit, let's go here to 2500 just for the heck of it, hit OK. So now that's set. Now my aperture, I am going to uncheck that. I don't want, when I hit that button, I don't want to assign an aperture. I don't want to override it. I want to be able to control the aperture myself. And normally, like when I'm at the refuge, I'm zoomed out to 800 millimeters, 7 to 800. So whatever that f-stop is, that is, like if I'm at 800, then it's f9. So it's automatically going to do f9. If I zoom out and back, it's going to adjust for the zoom. I want the maximum aperture for whatever focal length of lens I'm using when I do that. Like I said, your miles might vary, but this is me. So I'm going to uncheck that because I want whatever's set in the system at the time to take control. So ISO, I'm going to leave that at auto. It's just easier, so I don't have to fumble around. Metering mode, I'm going to leave it there. That's what I like for metering mode. If you don't like it, you can change it. And I should have said that to go from one to the other, your shutter dial will go back and forth. And then your ISO dial or your aperture dial in the back of the camera will go up and down. So if you move your shutter dial, and then you move your ISO or your aperture will go up and down. All right. So medium mode, whatever you want to set it at, that's up to you. Exposure compensation, whatever you want to set it, that's up to you. Uh, I normally have it off. I don't know. I mean, you can have it on or off, whatever. I normally don't have that in my camera, so it doesn't matter. White balance, that's up to you, man. Whatever you want. Personally, I like to see consistency when I'm looking at my shots. So I'll set the Kelvin, and I usually have 5500 set. So autofocus area, I have I have that off. I have it off because I don't want it to open up. I don't want it to go to, spot, 1 point, expanded, or flexible zones. I want to control that. So when I'm up and I'm taking a fast shot, if I want to, click through my things real quick to get to where I want, that's what I want. And 9 times out of 10, I'm in the expanded spot with the box with the other little boxes around it, which is fine. So I just leave that off. Whatever I have setting up in the camera at the time, that's what I use. Hold tracking servo autofocus. I have that on, and I have that on because for me, I'm taking pictures of fast moving objects, whether it's a dandyfly, a dragonfly, or maybe a fast bird. So I want it to track it throughout the frame. I don't want to have to try to pan and whatnot. So I have that on. Subject to detect, that's up to you. Whatever floats your boat. This is on people, that's the default. I usually will have it on auto. Eye detection auto, tracking sensitivity. This is personal preference. I like -2. I want to stay locked on. I don't want, if something comes in, I don't want something to come in and mess with it. I don't want to deal with that. So I usually have a -2. Stats all the same. Now here is where you need to be careful. Register current settings. For the life of me, when I first got this camera, I set it up and it kept hitting register current settings, and it kept not doing the settings I want. So like if you click this right now, it'll say, is this what you want? No, that's not what I want. But it's taken the current settings that you currently have in your system if you look through your viewfinder. So cancel out of that. Once you have everything up here that you want, just scroll down. Scroll. And don't click that. Just go to menu, if it'll let you get there. Sorry, everybody. Oh, Shizo Peach, just hit the menu button, for crying out loud. So you hit the menu and you come back there. Now you have to hit the set OK. And now it's registered. So as you see, we're at 1/60th, 1/8, 1.8, 100. Now if I hit my depth of field button, it goes right where it's at. Bam. And that's how I have it set up. That's how you register it. That's how you make it. Like I said, your mileage may vary. This is what I do. One other thing you should be aware of is if you want to set it, like I said, I go to the wildlife refuge, and that's my custom 3 mode. So if I go to custom 3 on my camera, that's my current settings for my custom 3. 1/1000th of a second auto ISO, because I'm in situations where it's dark light. I don't have time to do the whole exposure triangle with my thumbs and my fingers to get the shot. Animals are moving constantly. I want to control my shutter. I want to control my aperture, let the camera figure out the ISO, and I have not had one single issue at all. Now, that being said, you guys all probably know that you can set your buttons in the back of your camera in any configuration you want. You can have them different in manual mode, as you do in custom 1, as you do in custom 2, and as you do in custom 3. My buttons in manual are different than what I do in custom 1, 2, and 3, because custom 1, 2, and 3, my custom 1 is my in-studio macro, my custom 2 is out in the field macro, and my custom 3 is my wildlife stuff. So if you're going to set up this register recall and you want it to go to a different custom, after you create it all, you're going to have to remember to register that. So after you got it all done, you want to make sure you hit your Q button till you get to your little wrench and go all the way there, and then register your settings in whatever custom settings you have. But, there's other issues with that because if you monkey around, let's say like this or something, you just monkeying around and then you create your register recall and you don't put this back to what you want it at when you register your settings. Not only is it going to register your register recall that you just created, but it's also going to register those in there. So when you turn your camera on, that's going to be your default. So before you monkey around with the register recall option and save it to whatever custom mode you're going to save it to, make sure your in-camera shutter speed, aperture, and ISO is where you want it, because when you register it, it registers everything. So I hope this helped. I know I rambled a little bit and I'm sorry, but go out there, shoot something cool, and let me know how you get along with it. Do you like it? Do you use it? I don't know. I'm kind of hit or miss with it. I use it a couple times and it's okay. It's okay. I hardly ever use it. The animals around me are not that fast moving. We're talking maybe some dragonflies, but for the most part, they're lazy. Oh, they don't, I don't really need it that often, but it came in nice a few times. So I'll talk to you later. See you around. Have a great time. Bye.